Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Admitting Gervonta Davis is a special fighter, Shakur Stevenson highlights Gervonta's ability to outplay his own. It is likely that Shakur will be an underdog in a fight against Gervonta Davis. However, while one must acknowledge Davis' skills and contribution, the boxer from New York feels he is deserving of praise and is a treat to the former's legacy. So in his latest interview, Stevenson highlighted that the perception built around Davis' knockouts has downplayed his skills. In addition, Shakur also called out an unbeaten Mexican boxer with 27 knockouts. In his last fight against Teofimo, Shakur Stevenson showed excellent defense and vision. Shakur would know Artyom's limits, lean back in proximity, bob and weave, and let his opponent punch the air. His defense and vision were infested with confidence and accuracy. In one word, it was unflinching. So yes, while Gervonta has the ability to KO his opponents, Stevenson has his defense and IQ. But the boxer from New York complains that in the light of Davis' power, fans underestimated his techniques. People are blessed with different abilities. He's blessed with a God-given ability that if he cracks you, 9 times out of 10 you are gonna go down. I'm blessed with amazing eye, began Shakur. I can see punches coming my way and get away from them, added Shakur. They probably are judging from me a scale of him, and at the end of the day, he is great fighter, he is special fighter, but I'm special in my own right too. However, as per the updates available, Shakur Stevenson may not get his hands on Gervonta Davis soon, as Gervonta is in the process of sealing a deal with Ryan Garcia's rematch. For that reason, Stevenson called out a different opponent. Who is he? Shakur calls out the third best lightweight boxer in the world. The title defense against Teofimo was Shakur Stevenson's last fight with top-rank boxing, and he thinks, among others, Mayweather Promotions can be a viable option given they offer him a deal better than the $15 million top-rank offer at the boxer recently. But while Shakur decides on his next promoter, the boxer is sure about his next opponent. So he called out the third best lightweight as per the Ring magazine. Where is William Zepeda? Where is he? That's the fight we need. We're going to keep hyping him up to fight these guys that he's stopping in 3-4 rounds because he throwing value. And the non-stop punching these dudes ain't in the shape that I will be in, Shakur said. If Gervonta gonna go fight Ryan Garcia, why can't I find maybe the harder fight? With that said, do you think Gervonta Davis' abilities should outshine Shakur? Let us know in the comments below. Gervonta Davis' coach believes Gervonta could decode Floyd Mayweather's defense in a fight. Could we ever see this Super Bowl take place? Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. have traded insults in recent months, enough for Gervonta's coach Kenny Ellis to make a big statement. Gervonta Davis could decode the shoulder roll. Ellis took to social media account and said, betting on his charge to solve Mayweather's complex defensive strategy in the ring. If Floyd can fight another exhibition, he can fight another fight. If he is as great as he says he is, let's stop spinning the fence. Gervonta versus Floyd. Such a dream, though ever coming to fruition, would also mark great irony as Mayweather Promotions guided the career of Davis before they reported falling out. Mayweather ended his professional boxing career in August 2017 with a pristine 50-0 record with 27 knockouts. Since then, the Boxing Hall of Famer and self-proclaimed the best ever has competed in 7 exhibition bouts. This potential fight has a lot of intrigue for fans. It's a classic student versus teacher narrative with the added spice from their current rivalry. So far, Mayweather has not directly responded to the challenge. He is currently retired from professional boxing, but does participate in exhibition matches. There is a significant age difference to consider. Mayweather is 47 while Davis is in his prime at 28. Floyd Mayweather capped off his professional career with an undefeated record. Legends like Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez never even hit the canvas from an opponent's punch. Given his dominance, facing him in the ring required exceptional courage or perhaps a hint of recklessness. "I'm the best, nobody can beat me," said Mayweather once, and it will be up to Davis' trainer to prove that statement right. Undefeated boxer Shakur Stevenson has expressed interest in a possible deal with the Mayweather promotions. Shakur has no plans to resign with the promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank. Shakur Stevenson's unanimous decision victory over Artem Harutyunyan on Saturday wasn't just a successful title defense, it marked the end of his era with the Top Rank. After voicing frustrations with his previous promoter, Stevenson has become a free agent, ready to explore all options for the next phase of his career. Among the potential suitors is boxing legend Floyd Mayweather, who runs Mayweather Promotions. This opens the door for a fascinating partnership between a rising star and a retired champion. It's over. In a bout that disciplined his abilities and perhaps showed why Top Rank isn't making much effort to retain him, Shakur defended his WBC lightweight title with a technically proficient yet ultimately underwhelming performance against Artem Harutyunyan. "I love boxing, but if they don't want to fight me, I will stay in the gym and keep busy," he added. Davis vs Stevenson next. What did Gervonta's assistant coach say? Mayweather had dreams of turning Davis into one of the biggest stars of his promotion. After all, he went to a great length to make Davis sign the dotted line. No, I asked, was Floyd for the World Summer before I signed with him? Before I even, signed anything on paper, he already bought me cars, he bought me jewelry and things like that," Gervonta once told in an interview. But it wasn't meant to be. Although they parted ways on friendly terms in 2022, bitterness crept in when Davis alleged that Mayweather stopped him from training in his gym before his fight against Ryan Garcia. But later the duo was seen celebrating in the ring against Davis versus beating King Ryan. Safe to say, it has been a rocky on-again, off-again professional relationship between them, with the unresolved issues coming to the fore in the last couple of months. Of late, Davis even warned fighters to not sign with Floyd's promotional company. "If you side with him, he is not a good businessman at all," he wrote on his social media. Accusations have been coming in thick and fast from both sides, with Floyd reportedly taking a dig at Davis indirectly, claiming that fighters nowadays spend their money on frivolous things rather than saving it for a rainy day or investing it. To that, Davis responded by revealing that Floyd was held hostage in Dubai because something ununderstandable. All things considering, the backstory is enticing enough to make for a blockbuster pay-per-view draw. Moreover, it gives a chance for Floyd to break another record. Assuming he takes up the challenge against the current WBA lightweight world title holder, he would have the chance of becoming the oldest world champion in the sport, joining the esteemed company of Bernard Hopkins and George Foreman. Will the 47-year-old fighter attempt to make it 51-0 in the professional record? Or will he proceed to dog the 29-year-old Davis and stick to a lucrative exhibition fight against opponents who are of no match to him? Nevertheless, one can only imagine what would happen when an unstoppable force like Davis, with 28 KOs in 30 fights, goes up against an unmovable object like Mayweather. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.